Okay, well, hey, let's do this all over again, guys. I didn't go live, so we're gonna start from the very beginning. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. So let's do this all over again. Where we at? Where we at? Let's do this all over
The one, and now makes the man trapped in third and hanging out. And second and two, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds over the roof.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network.
You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs, from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting, we have G-Dub from Austin, Texas, Berkeley Basketball from Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland, and finally, they used to call him Pretty Ricky, but now they call him Coach Ricky from Charleston, South Carolina. These are our hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
Okay,
I
ladies and
know
gentlemen.
you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this.
So nice. I want to play it twice. That's the only thing I'm gonna repeat. Anyway, talking about some baseball real quick. Dodgers with the Padres. That should be a good series because the Padres is mad with the Dodgers. Dodgers just they just dismantled them this whole season. You know, Phillies with the Braves. That's gonna be a good one. Like I said, that's the Braves team. That's Dana, my co-host team, against the Phillies. You got the Guardians, who's the youngest team in the league right now, going up against the Yankees. Should be a good series. You got the Astros and the Mariners, which should be a good series. I think that all four games, and all 8 teams is going to bring something exciting for you this year. Now, the only issue I have with this is that these games run into November, the first week in November. Can you imagine going to Cleveland in the first week of November and play baseball? Can you imagine going to New York in the first week of November and playing baseball? Can you imagine going to Philadelphia in the first week of November playing baseball? And they're already talking about snow. They talking about snow coming this way already. And we're in the second week of October, I believe. Man, that's the only thing he got wrong. So I'm gonna say this to the commissioner: start the season earlier so it can end earlier, or figure something out, because this don't make no sense for it to run into November. Now you run it into November, which you're gonna have baseball, basketball, and football all at the same time. So you gotta mix. So you making me choose who to watch. I want to watch the Dodgers. I want to watch my Celtics. I want to watch the Rams, the Browns. I want to watch all those teams play. And don't make me choose between who I gotta watch. That's not cool, man. You know I'm in love with sports, baby. But again, like I said before, I like football, but I love me some basketball. So it's October the 10th. Weather's decent here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I got G Dub on the line, and I got Dana on the line with me. Give me pull Dana in. Dana, you out there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, Dana. Hey, before we go on, I was hoping that we are gonna have Coach Ricky on, and I thought that um that Mr. Baskerville would be on. I guess they're running late, I think. But you know how you guys were having that comments or discussion in the chat room. I was like, yo, bring that to the page. You know what I'm saying? Bring that to the show. Let's talk about it on the show because, yo.
Oh, you talking about the juiced up player?
Yeah, Coach Ricky was getting a little hot in the collar with that one, man. And I wanted y'all guys to come on.
They juiced up. They all juiced up.
I wanted to bring that to the show, baby, and see what people think about. So okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is what happened. So every week, I always send out questions in reference to what we're gonna talk about on the show. So Dana and Mr. Baskerville said that Judge and Pujols juiced up, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm gonna say this. I personally don't think they are. I don't. And if there's some news out there, I haven't seen it. I haven't heard of it. I haven't read of it. But Mr. Baskerville is supposed to come on here and explain his logic. But since we got Dana on here, Dana, tell us what you know that makes you think that those two players were juiced.
Okay, let's take Pujols first. His career was about over. He wasn't doing all that hitting. He was about to retire. Then he juiced up. He got on that streak. Then he started hitting. Just like Judd, he was always hurt. As soon as he got hurt, he started juicing up. When he came back, he started hitting.
So what Dana?
Dana. We might be wrong. They say Barry Bonds, but they never called Barry Bonds yet.
But Dana, let me ask you a question.
So
where y'all getting this information from about them being juiced? I get what you're saying, and I understand. I don't agree with it, but what I'm saying to you, I'm all about facts. I'm all about reading in between the lines when it comes to certain things, because even though you're saying this, is there anything in writing that says that they did this or it was happening? Because I'm gonna say this.
They're not gonna put it in writing.
Well, I'm just saying,
they're
Dana.
Not gonna put it in writing. But I know Barry Bonds.
But
they ain't talking about Brett Favre yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, now you know why we call him Dana the hater. He had put that logo, that slogan down, but he had picked it back up, and he's like that.
I picked it back up.
So
look here, you would get straight with no chaser.
Oh Lord have mercy.
From now on, with Dana the hater.
So
I dare any of you fans want to come over here and go, like Ric Flair say, 101 with the hater.
Dana is.
I wish I was on ESPN. And Draymond Green, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Wait a minute, stop jumping topics, man. Let's stay on this. G-Dub, you got something you want to say?
The baseball.
G-Dub got something to say. Wait a minute, Dana. Go ahead, G-Dub.
Okay.
Dana, where's your proof? If you bring me proof saying that they juiced, I believe you. Until then, leave it alone. There's no evidence. You need to stop, like Kevin says. You need to stop, let it go. Can't hear you, Kev. Kev.
So
I'm tired of y'all coming at you. You got proof. You think somebody gonna prove to you that they juicing? He not gonna do it. It's gonna take the lead. It's gonna take you. Irate fans is always crying about everything. Let's let the fans decide. We want him tested. Before you give him 300,
I still don't believe
tested.
So Dana. So Dana.
Stop all that crying.
So Dana, I don't believe they are. Wait a minute, James got something.
Yeah, anytime anybody breaks a record, they always want to go to drug control, some type of steroid or performance enhancing substance to basically say that they're the way that their performance is not valid. So I don't know. It would be a really good take to know whether that's the truth or not.
Dana. Look.
He called Mary's grandmother talking about, I'm sorry for taking the drugs.
Dana.
I'm sorry. The hate against everybody.
Dana, listen.
The hate against everybody.
Dana, wait a minute.
I'm not scared of y'all face to face on the phone. I don't care no more.
Dana, hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, Dana's a little upset with the Miami Dolphins and the route they're going right now. But James has a point though, because if you think about it, when the guy, somebody ran a touchdown back or something, and he got tested the next day. Whenever you do something that you ain't supposed to do, they test you. Now football, they test you. It's crazy. It's crazy how they test people in football. It's unreal. Like when the field goal kicker, it was a field goal kicker who kicked with a 63-yarder or 64-yarder or 65-yard, whatever. They tested him the next day. They tested him the next day to make sure he wasn't juicing. But Dana, I get your point. But I'm saying to you like this: I don't believe Albert Pujols. I really don't.
When he come up with the steroids in his system, I want everybody to apologize to me.
And Dana, I will be the first to apologize if he comes up like that.
When he confessed,
Dana, I will also apologize to you. I will also apologize to you, Dana.
So Dana, this is the deal.
But y'all still are my friends.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Do you think anybody else in MLB is juicing besides those two guys?
See, I don't really pay attention to baseball to the playoffs. Go Braves. But I know when they pay attention to certain players, that's what raised the antenna. Like dog. That's not right. Tell me that wasn't Judd like hurt?
Dana, but yeah, he had been hurt. And I don't even think he finished the season. I think he finished the season last year, if I'm not mistaken, on the DL.
The last 2 seasons.
But Dana, listen, when money calls, you're gonna step to the plate. You know what I'm saying? He's about to get paid.
Yeah, because you got enough money to shoot up.
He's gonna be the highest paid baseball player in Major League history when he signed his contract. When he signs his contract, whoever he signs it with, he's gonna be paid. He's gonna be paid. So go ahead.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Dana.
Can I say something?
Yep,
hey, Judge, you pay me $1 million, I'll pay for you. Give me 5.
Oh my God, Dana.
you give me $1 million, and Pujols give me $1 million.
Oh my goodness.
For you.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now.
I done paid for many athletes.
I'm not. I do not believe you, Dana. It got to come out. If it comes out, Dana.
What?
If it comes out, then I'll apologize. Like you said, Tom Brady's gonna retire, but he ended up getting a divorce. I don't know if it's the same thing or not, but
Listen, man.
I don't know what's the difference.
I know we all over the place. Giselle getting selfish.
She getting selfish.
You one selfish woman, Giselle.
Dana, how's she selfish? Come on, Dana. Hold up, Dana. Wait. Hold. Time out, Dana. Time out. So he says to her, I'm retiring. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Miami Dolphins and become part ownership of the team. Sean Payton is going to be the coach, and we're going to have all kind of money at this point in time. That's what he told her, because that's what he was trying to do. Coming back to play football for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was not in the conversation at all. That wasn't in the conversation, Dana. You know what I'm saying? So she said, I'll let you play your football. Now it's time for me to go back to my career and do what I want to do, and you can spend time with the kids. Tom Brady said, I'm not doing it. I'm going to play football. So he actually picked football over his marriage. That's what he did. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say this. I ain't picking sports over my wife. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. And maybe because of the factor that he has so much money, it doesn't matter to him. Money is not a factor to him. But at the end of the day, that's still your wife. She was there for you through everything you did for the last 20 some years, Dana, playing football, never being home, always on the road. From September to January, he's on the road. Okay, and then you have your mini camps where you're gone for 2 weeks at a time or a week at a time, and then you got summer camps. Yo, Dana, she deserves to go back to be able to follow her dream if that's what she wants to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry that they're getting a divorce. I'm not laughing about that at all because that's something serious. But what I'm saying is this right here. He's being really selfish, in my opinion, because he knew what the deal was, and they talked about it, and he reneged on the deal. You know what I'm saying? So now they gonna get divorced. She gonna move. She gonna move. He gonna move. He gonna move. And they might not see. He's not gonna see the kids a lot. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna hurt. And they're still babies, if I'm not mistaken. I think the older ones might be 6, 7, 8 years old, maybe 9. So they're gonna miss their dad. So I get that point with her because that was not in the plans. That was not in the plan. But we're gonna go back on. Let's get back on topic though. I want to talk to you about your Mike McDaniel's interview. I can't find it, Dana. I really can't. I've been looking for it. Been looking for it. But I don't know if you saw the interview he did. Well, I mean, yeah, the interview he did talking about Tua, and he said he in some words like I can't worry about him. I have a football team to worry about. In so many words, all right. And this is why I added his name to that list of coaches I felt like could be fired going forward this season, which Matt Rule got fired, and the dude's about to get $40 million. Can you believe that? 40. Dana, he gonna get $40 million to get fired. He got fired. He had a 7-year deal. 7-year deal. He had a 7-year deal. And he only played. He only coached 3. Yep. Only coached 3. He got fired. Right. But the GM probably gonna stay there because he didn't want to pick the team. But anyways, my thing is this right here. Mike McDaniel's interview was very disheartening to me because he seemed like he didn't care about Tua and the situation he was in and everything he had to go through. And I don't know if all y'all saw that where his hand seized, and that's a scary thought because first thing I'm thinking is, oh man, his brain is not functioning right now for the rest of his body, so he's looking like he's in a seizure mode. You know what I'm saying? And now they're saying that he should retire. The one doctor said he should retire. Okay, and now he's going to another specialist to get another opinion. And at the end of the day, you can get all the opinions you want. But Dana, tell me that you weren't scared for Tua when he hit that turf. You know what I'm saying? But McDaniel's didn't. To me, his nonchalant, being nonchalant about the situation, it didn't sit well with me, man. It didn't sit well with me because now you're making me believe that Tua is just a player or just a number on their team, and we have to put what he does to the side, and then we still got to play the football games, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. Wait a minute, G Dub got something you want to say?
Hey Kev, when was this interview? When was this interview done? Because I'm looking for it too.
Oh, wait a minute. The one I'm looking for is like 3 to 4 minutes. The one you might be looking for is like 16 minutes. That's too long. I just wanted the one that was on ESPN where Stephen A. Smith was talking and the other guy that's on it for football. But my whole issue with this situation, wait a minute.
That whole thing with, can you hear me? That whole thing with Matt Rule is, I don't feel like he's a pro coach. I feel like he's more of a college coach. So he really didn't fit in with the pro scheme, I guess you could say. And he's more about building up like college programs. Like he was at Temple and he was at Baylor, and he did really, really well. And I guess that really stood out for the NFL franchises. But I feel like he was a bad fit right there in Carolina. That's why he got fired.
So let me ask you a question about Rule real quick, James. when it comes to coaching, when it comes to coaching players, and a lot of times the players you coach ain't the players that you wanted. So if the GM's the one that's picking the players, and these ain't the play, I'm pretty sure that most coaches have a say so on certain players they draft or certain players to go after free agency. And they're like, yo, we really need to. I really need. If I can get this guy on my team, we can make this thing really happen. We can make this thing go. I really need him on my team, right? Or we really need to draft this guy. He's the best player for our team right here. Let's draft this guy. And the GM's like, no, I don't think he's a guy. I want to go. I want to go in another direction or something like that. So we see that happening so many times in professional sports, more so in football than any other sport. I think baseball and basketball is completely, to me, is completely different. So I'm thinking that he has some say so, but he didn't have any say so. But you still keep the GM who's drafted these. You kept the GM who drafted these guys that didn't pan out. You know. Now I'm gonna say this too. I think Rule really wanted Baker Mayfield down there because he coached against him. And the thing about it is, you coach against him in college. College is completely different than the pros. I'm sorry, it's a completely different animal, you know. And so I think that's where he went wrong with that. Um, now what's going to happen with if I'm Carolina right now? I'm a fire sale. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later on too. I'm a fire sale because um, I fired the coach. I got an interim coach. We know who the coaches are out there that he really wants, but Carolina is far away from being a Super Bowl contender. Hey Dana,
Yes, sir.
remember the guy that came on the show and told us that the Carolina Panthers was gonna make the playoffs?
I can't remember his name too.
Yeah. Kevin, you guys in the media
I
have
know.
to stop bouncing on the
I
Dolphins.
don't mean to yell. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to use
No,
my
you good.
microphone.
You good.
But Cowboy fans better give me my flowers while I'm here. I told you what you're gonna be.
So wait a minute. I got somebody on the live feed that says Kevin. He said, Kev, you guys in the media has to stop pouncing on the Dolphins over the handling of Tua. I don't know why, because it was handled wrong, for one. He says, why you guys didn't pounce on the Bengals for allowing T. Higgins to play in the same game with Tua when Higgins had a concussion on the same Sunday that Tua had a concussion, but you guys in the media don't mention Higgins. Is it because Higgins didn't get hurt and Tua did? Absolutely. That well, let me explain this to you. I don't know who you are on the Facebook page, but you know, if you want to put your name down, I appreciate it so I can address you properly. But I'm gonna say this to you: we seen Tua get hit the week prior. Okay, the week prior Tua got hit, and they tried to tell us it was about his back. And anybody know that if your back locks up on you, you cannot get up at all. So he goes back into the locker room and comes back and starts playing again. Then that Thursday night he gets hit again, and now he goes in. It looked like his body's in a seizure. So this is why we're not pouncing on Tua. We're not pouncing on Tua. We're pouncing on the Dolphins, and we're pouncing on the. I'm pouncing on the coach because the interview he did about Tua pissed me off because he felt like, oh, I have more things to worry about than this Tua. You know what I'm saying? And at that moment that you're doing an interview on ESPN, you have some sympathy for that young man because now he may not be able to play football ever again in his life behind a decision that you made. And I don't care what nobody else I don't care what nobody else say. He knew that he shouldn't have came back out in the game. When he came back in that game, he should not have came out there. He should not. And nobody's gonna make me believe that he didn't know anything about it. Now they can soup it up, slop it up, do whatever they want to do with it, and so that it don't get out. But if it does get out that he knew about it, his job's done. That's why I added him on that list. And I said if he knew Tua had a concussion and he allowed him to play again because that game was that important to them, he should be fired as a head coach. And watching the interview on ESPN with him proved to me that he knew something was up, and he sit there and says, I got more important things to talk about than Tua. But you came on to talk about Tua. You know, I have a team to run. But that's why you have a defensive coach. That's why you have an offensive coordinator. That's why you have defensive coaches and offensive players. They can do it without you there. So he says T. Higgins was laid out for media to sweep that under the rug in a double standard. To be honest with you, I didn't hear about the T. Higgins thing. But if he had a concussion, he came out the game. Because if you think about it right now, everybody's coming out the game now because everybody's getting concussions. So the question needs to be asked, has the NFL been doing the right thing from day one when it comes to the concussion? Because nobody's going to sit and tell me all of a sudden this year, 2022, in the NFL, that now everybody's getting concussions? No, they've been getting concussions way prior to now, and they've probably still been playing. Tua just brought it to a head because everybody's seeing it on paper. I mean, seeing it in color. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's an issue. Because don't sit here can't nobody sit here and make me believe that there was never nobody getting concussions prior to the season. I'm sorry, don't believe it. You ain't gonna make me believe it. No way you gonna make me believe it at all. They've been getting concussions there was concussions, everything going on last year. It just didn't come to a head like the one with Tua. And that's the problem I have right there. That's the problem I have. Because if Tua would have never seized like he did, he might have been out. He wouldn't have been there. He probably wouldn't have went and saw a specialist. But now he had to go see a specialist. The specialist says, yo, bro, I'm sorry, but in my honest opinion, as a doctor of so many years and seeing the test results, I think you need to stop playing football. So he goes to get a second opinion. Right? And I'm not saying nothing wrong. I'm not saying nothing wrong with him getting a second opinion. But at the same token, the T. Higgins thing, I really don't know nothing about that one. And I will look that up when I get a chance. And we can talk about T. Higgins on the next show. But my thing is right here. And the reason why I bring it up, one, because Dana's a Dolphin fan. And I just want to get his take on it. I don't know if Dana, did you see the interview on ESPN?
I seen the interview. I know what
you're talking about.
I did.
You're a Dolphin fan. Tell me.
He was a little careless. I think he was a little careless and a little heartless. Like, I mean, you put football to the side. That man, his hands went up and was like crazy. That freaked me out. And then when Tom Brady got slammed, they called roughing. They didn't call roughing for Tua, but that's another story. But he did seem like he didn't care.
Okay, I thought it was me. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was just me. I thought I was the only person that saw that, and I'm the one that got that feeling.
I'm a realist, Kim, before I'm a football fan.
Exactly.
It's like he had no compassion for Tua.
Exactly.
He was like, okay, next man. He was like, next man up. Your turn, Teddy. And Teddy got hurt yesterday.
Exactly. Now Teddy's out with a concussion. I guarantee you, if you look at all the games that played yesterday, there's about I'm gonna say 7 to 8 guys that came out of the game because they had a concussion. And so my thing is this right here. They say that helmets they made now will help with concussions. Okay, these were new improved helmets they have now. During the season, during practice, they was putting the little bubbles on the helmet so they didn't hit each other. Okay, which is for safety, right? But now you're playing a real game, and now you're getting hit, and now everybody's having concussion. So concussions going to take over from hamstring pulls, MCLs, ACLs. Or they're gonna take over. They're gonna take over all of that. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing with that interview, what really pissed me off was that he had no compassion for this man. You know, and I know this is your first time being a head coach, but don't think of it as a head coach right now. Think of it as maybe that's your son. Okay.
Right.
And then come back and have that same interview. You know what I'm saying? And then say, wow, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because what he went through, he could have died on that field. You know what I'm saying? And if he died, now but Dana, check this out. If he died on that field, they would have still played. They still would have to play the game.
Right.
They might have postponed the game, but they would end up playing it anyway at some point in time. Because that's what the NFL is all about. The shield. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the shield, and I understand it's being about the shield, but at the same time, you have men that are doing it, playing a sport where you coming at somebody 30 miles an hour and you hitting them. It's going to affect your body at some point in time. We wasn't built to play football. This is something man came up with. But anyway, so we're gonna move on to Draymond Green. So Draymond Green punches his teammate in the face. When it first and Dana, if I'm not mistaken, that's the same time that they had the interview with your coach from the Dolphins on there, and then they came back and said to Stephen A, all right, there was a fight in Golden State between Draymond Green and Jordan Poole. He said, "Oh, don't worry about it." He said, "It's just something they go through. You know, it's a family thing, and this is what we do, right?" But until that film came out, it was a whole different story.
He's been bullying you for a long time.
It's a whole different story right now. Now, I got
That's
paperwork.
what I heard.
I got paperwork right here that said that Jordan Poole was basically full of himself, right? He was on the top of the world because he know he's about to get a nice little paycheck. Draymond Green a little mad because he about to take some of his take some of his PT playing time away. So Draymond, they never said what the conversation was about, right? But if you looked at the video, you saw them saying something. Draymond walks over, Poole pushes him out of space, and Draymond sucker punches him. Now I'm pissed off with Steve Kerr because Steve Kerr said he's mad because it got out. It got out, but Dana just said to you guys, this has been going. He been bullying this kid since he been on that team, and now Draymond is wants to apologize. I'm gonna let y'all listen to this, and I want you to tell me one thing: if the video would have never came out, would Draymond be doing this right now?
I have apologized to my team, to my actions that took place on Wednesday, and for that, I have apologized to my team. I have apologized to Jordan, and I wanted to take that a step further. With the event yesterday, with the video leaking, there is a huge embarrassment that comes with that. Not only for myself as I was the one that committed the action, the embarrassment that comes for me is what it is, and that's something that I have to deal with. But the embarrassment that Jordan has to deal with, and that this team has to deal with, this organization has to deal with, but also Jordan's family. His family saw that video. His mother, his father saw that video, and quite frankly, if my mother saw that video, I know how my mother will feel. I know what her I know what her reaction would be, and I know what her next step would be. And so for that, I apologize to his mother and his father, and his family, his friends that care for him, because that is a sense of, or a level of embarrassment that they have to deal with too. I apologize to this organization. We just won a championship in 9 days, 10 days. There will be a ring ceremony. My family will be here. His family will be here. I'm sure they'll be here. And quite frankly, that's an elephant in the room. That's something that, it's weird, and on a night where it should be celebration and love, and it still will be. But there is like this dark cloud in the room, and I caused that, so I apologize to his family, and just what they've had to deal with over the course of the last 24 to 48 hours. And I will do what I have to do to make that right.
All right, guys. So,
This is John. He hasn't worked.
In this law. All right, guys. So y'all listen to y'all listen to this. James, give me your opinion on how do you think how do you take this interview and his apology towards Jordan Poole?
Some part of me thinks it's heartfelt. Some part of me feels like it was rushed to kind of cover up his, I guess, somewhat of his image, I guess. But this isn't the first time teammates have punched each other. I mean, heck, last year, whenever Washington football team played the Cowboys, you had a scuffle right there on the bench. I mean, heck, they brought heated benches to an indoor stadium. And I feel like they're a little heated.
G-Dub, what's your thoughts on Draymond?
I'm going to go with James on this one. It was rushed. They wanted him to get it out and make him look good, but it was rushed.
Dana, what's your thoughts on that?
Man, I just think it's a bunch of bull crap. Bullies deserve to get what they deserve, and he deserve a black eye too. So no pun intended. But he deserved to get hit like that. Stop being a bully, man. That apology means nothing. Because you've been bullying this man and he got fed up. It's bad when the victim get fed up and have to protect themselves, and then you do that to him, and then you want to apologize about yourself. You didn't think about that before you punched him. You didn't think about that. Like you said, he might have some stone cold killers in his family. And then they just beat you down for punching their little brother. Then what? Jordan Poole's supposed to apologize because my brother got fed up because they wanted to beat you up what you did to their little brother? Woo! It's crazy, man. That apology means nothing to me. If I was Jordan Poole, I'd tell him it means nothing. I agree with Shannon Sharp. We teammates. Every day I see you, we gonna fight. Every day. I don't care where we at. If you're in the grocery store, I'm gonna beat you down. If you're in a restaurant holding your baby, I'm gonna beat you down. I don't care if you're holding the baby, I'm gonna beat you down. Every day.
Every day, Dana? Every day? Every day?
Every day.
Every day.
In practice, I don't care. Until I get mine. Until I back your eye socket.
So
I'm gonna see Jordan Poole, man. That's crazy.
I'm gonna say this. I don't agree with Draymond's apology. He definitely needs to take some time away from the team, and he needs to be fined for that. Tempers will get out of hand. Things happen. Does anyone remember Michael Jordan punching Steve Kerr and giving him a black eye? It was unfortunate, but that stuff happens at times. And that's why Steve Kerr got probably mad, because somebody's gonna bring this up about him getting punched in the eye by Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? But now the thing about it is, back then the social media wasn't as prevalent as it is right now. But I'm not. Jordan was probably was a bully too. Jordan was a bully. Okay. But Draymond is over the top. Okay. What Draymond just did to himself was he guaranteed himself not to be a Golden State Warrior after this year. Okay. That's what he guaranteed himself, because that bag he was looking for, he's not getting it from them. He's not getting it. I'm putting my money in Jordan Poole and Wiggins. I'm not putting no money in Draymond. I'm sorry. I can't do it. You know. And his apology sounded good, right? But we know Draymond is a talker. He talks to everyone. He makes sure he says something to every referee at every game he plays. This guy in the playoffs against the Celtics championship game, the one game he fouls out, he talks to the referee from the sideline to the sideline. Nobody else in the NBA could get away with that. Nobody, but he did. You know what I'm saying? So he feels like he feels like he's special. You know what I'm saying? And he can get away with that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, like Dana said, um, there's gonna be some problem. He's around me, if I'm Jordan Poole, he better watch his back. He better have eyes in the back of his head, because a person that gets hit like that and it gets to social media, it makes the person look really bad. But the thing about it is, everybody's coming to Jordan's defense. Now, again, they were saying Jordan was on high. You know, he was talking trash or whatever, and that eventually will get out too. Steve Kerr said that was not the case. He's been a model citizen. He's been this. He's been that. Even Iguodala said the same thing, and we know Iguodala ain't gonna say nothing wrong this time, because he say anything wrong this time, they're gonna ship him. They're gonna ship him back to Oklahoma City, and he ain't never coming back to Golden State again. Because last time he talked about why they got rid of Mark Jackson, and what happened to him. Then 2 weeks later, shipped him out. They shipped him out. So he ain't gonna rock that boat no more. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is, you guys are teammates, and I get it. But that's too. I don't see that. To me, that's just wrong. What if you'd have punched him and he would hit his head and maybe got a concussion? Now he can't play. You're going to get a fine. In ring night, you're not going to be able to get your ring, right? And I'm gonna say this: I think the NBA needs to get involved if Golden State doesn't find him, and suspend him, because if they don't do this, it's not going to mean anything to him, because he feel like he still can get away with some things. I mean, you look at this conversation that he had with Kevin Durant. You know, he's like, "BITCH, you don't need to be here. We don't need you. We won without you. We can win with you. We can win without you." You know what I'm saying? But it ain't supposed to be boys. You know what I'm saying? And I get the competition part of it, man. And I play sports too, and I'm like, yo, man, get your head together, man. Let's get focused on playing the game. Let's do what we gotta do in the game. And I never cussed at nobody. I was a point guard, and I was like, yo, come on, man, you know you where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? That X over in the corner, that's you. The X over here is me. Get it together, brother. Come on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, I know tempers get bad, but not that bad. I can see you arguing with each other or cussing each other, but to put your hands on another man like that, and to sneak him, is the part that really pisses me off. Because if Draymond Green, if you're such a bully and you can fight, give him the fair one. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So we're gonna move on. So let's talk a little college football. We got some upsets. We had some upsets. So
Texas.
so what I like is that Alabama's number 3. So if the players were to start right now, guess who Alabama would have to play? Georgia Bulldogs. I would love that. 1 plays 3, 2 plays 4. I like that. I like that so far, guys. I'm telling you, it's groovy. As they say, it's groovy. So I'm gonna go over some games with you guys. And if there's a game you like and you want to talk about it, just raise your hand and I will hit you up. Dana, if you hear something, say Kevin wants to talk, and I'll stop talking. So at number 1, we got Georgia, who plays Vanderbilt. Sleeper. We got Ohio State playing Iowa. Iowa does play them tough, but I'm really impressed with Ohio State right now. They're beating the brakes off everybody. Michigan State had to go to Mighty Key and get new brakes put on their vehicle because they wore them down. Alabama plays at Tennessee. This is gonna be a good one. And Alabama don't have the quarterback. So do we want to talk about this, guy? Anybody want to talk? Raise your hand if you want to holler. All right, James got something you want to say?
I want to talk about. Oh,
That's my upset pick of the week. I'm picking Tennessee over Alabama.
Okay, Dana, go ahead.
sorry, I like you, James, but you wrong. Alabama make all these teams look ridiculous. I know they had a little letdown because of the quarterback play. Let's say they gonna get that right, and then they gonna blow Tennessee. It won't even be a game. I think Texas should have beat them when they hurt that quarterback on purpose for Texas. I believe that.
Yeah.
But I believe Alabama beat Tennessee.
Okay, Dana.
Hands down.
G-Dub, you got something? G-Dub, you got something?
Tennessee is going to upset Alabama and make Alabama look like a bunch of high school kids. I'm going to say Tennessee 47, Bama 20.
Yo, so you saying they almost gonna get a 50 burger on Alabama? Wow. I'm gonna say this, Dana.
There you go.
I think it's gonna be a good game. Tennessee has athletes now. They just don't have football players. They got athletes. They got a good quarterback, the wide receiver, the running backs. They got good athletes. So I think this is gonna make this game a little closer than what. I don't think nobody's scoring no 47 points. I'm going 20. I'll go 20, 28, 22, or 28, 20. I can see Tennessee maybe winning this game by 2 touchdowns because of the quarterback situation with Alabama. Now the backup they got in there, we're gonna see how good he really is when it comes to playing against some good competition. Because Tennessee right now is number 5. So we talked about
45-17 Bama.
We took Tennessee, so we got USC at Utah. They're ranked 20th, whatever. Oklahoma State at TCU. That's gonna be a good one. That should be a good one too. Ole Miss at Auburn. Sleeper. Ole Miss we did Ole Miss at Auburn. Penn State at Michigan. You got number 10 and number 5. Should be a good game. Penn State got a shutdown corner, and them 2 freshman running back they got. If they can hold on to if it ain't raining, like they say, if it ain't raining, we ain't training. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if it ain't raining, Penn State got a chance because they played the game against I think Northwestern. It had like 5 turnovers in the rain, and it looked terrible. It looked really terrible. Then you got UCLA at Oregon. Then you got TCU at Oklahoma State. Then you got Syracuse at North Carolina State, and you got James Madison against Georgia Southern. So we have the top 11 teams are all undefeated. Then you got Oregon at number 11, 12 at 5-1. You got TCU at 5-0. They're 13. You got Syracuse at 5-0. They're back up and running. Tennessee, look at Syracuse. Look at Syracuse, 5-0. And then you got number 25, James Madison, who 5-0. G-Dub, what's up?
How about them Longhorns taking out the Sooners? And I cannot believe we put 49 points up on them. To be honest, I didn't think we could put 49 points up on Oklahoma because of that, I just didn't think it was possible. But they made me look like a chump. Texas did.
Somebody, I wish you would tell me who you are. Just put your name in your whatever you when you I can't find you on Facebook. I don't know why I can't find it on Facebook. It says, Kev, do you remember Gino getting sucker punched in the just locker room? I don't remember that. I'm not, it is what it is. Things happen. I'm not saying it don't happen. I'm not saying it don't happen, but again, nobody should be getting sucker punched by nobody. I don't care who it is. As simple as that. Heisman Trophy winners coming up. Heisman Trophy race is about to come up. But so and we all three of us think that Tennessee is going to upset Alabama, and Dana thinks that Alabama's going to beat Tennessee. We got Lou on the line. Lou, how you doing, bro?
All right.
Hey,
We
Alabama.
still got about 6 weeks to go before the Heisman Trophy, right?
Who you got, Alabama or Tennessee?
I think I gotta go with Alabama by a slight margin.
Okay, he said
it's not gonna be a runaway.
He said by a slight margin. Slight. So the Heisman, we 6 games into the season, and we talking about the Heisman guys. Blake Corman and Andrew Martinez is on the rise. Right now, odds on favorite has Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud, number 1. Number 2, we got Bryce Young, number 2. Number 3, we have Caleb Williams from USC quarterback. Number 4, we got Tennessee quarterback Hendon Hooker. Number 5, we got at Georgia quarterback Stetson Bennett. Number 6, we got running back Blake Cumrun from Michigan. Let's see what we got here. At tied for 6, we got Kansas State quarterback Adrian Martinez. Number 6 tied again. Oklahoma quarterback Dylan Gabriel. Then we have Wake Forest quarterback James Harden. Number 10, we have Alabama linebacker William Anderson Jr. We finally got one defensive player on this list. We got one running back. Everybody else is quarterbacks, man. I'll tell you what. James got something he want to speak on.
Why Bijan Robinson isn't on that list is beyond me. He is the best back in the country.
Who does he play, James? Who does he play?
He's Texas Longhorns running back. They have a two back set, him and Roschon Johnson. Roschon Johnson, if he wasn't with Texas, he would be a feature back somewhere else. But since Bijan is so good, he's the starter.
So that might be the guy that he could be the hot foot in the race there. He could be the hot foot in the race, depending on what happens as far as Texas is concerned. He could be one of those guys that sneaks in there and wins a Heisman. I'm quarterbacks. I don't get it. So we're talking about the Heisman guys, and I'm looking at the draft 2023. Number 1 pick, Houston Texans quarterback. Number 2 pick, Carolina Panthers, quarterback. Number 7 pick, Washington Commanders, quarterback. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. If I'm C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, or Willie Levis, if I got another year, in college, I'm staying in college. I'm staying in college. I don't want to go to Texas. I don't want to go to Carolina, and I don't want to go to Washington. Cause you got to rebuild. That's a rebuild. They're all 3 rebuild teams. We're talking about with Lovie Smith probably not gonna get fired. We know Ron Rivera is probably gonna get fired because Washington is gonna be 1-17.
He will.
He's gonna be 1-17. So if I'm just saying, guys, if I'm one of them quarterbacks, I don't know who I'm coming up right now. James, go ahead, James.
If I'm a franchise, I would never pick an Ohio State quarterback. I think the chase for the number 1 pick will end up being Will Anderson from Alabama. That's my hot take. He's going to be the number 1 pick.
The linebacker.
Yes, the linebacker.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm not saying he can't be. I'm not saying he won't be. But with me, at a linebacker, if you can show me that you can run a 4-3 or 4-4 as a linebacker, oh, I'm taking you number 1. You know what I'm saying? But again, if you look at the list here, but they got your boy Willie Anderson going to the Raiders at number 3, and the Philadelphia Eagles got draft picks for years. They're picking number 4. This team's 5-0 right now. Chances of getting the playoffs is greater than ever. They make it to the playoffs. Let's say they get in the playoffs, and let's say they get to the NFC Championship game and lose. Let's say they get to Super Bowl and lose. They got the number 4 pick.
Oh, yeah.
You add on to that, man. Wouldn't that be one? That would be great to add on to that, and to add Willie Anderson, who James said should be the number 1 pick. If he runs a 4-3, 4-4 as a linebacker, oh, I got to take him. Because Texas need more than a quarterback. Panthers need more than a quarterback. Washington needs more than a quarterback. I'm gonna say this: out of those 3 teams, Washington probably needs a quarterback worse than any of those 2 teams going forward next year.
Yeah, I think it is.
They got some issues going on there, but I'm looking at the draft board right now, and see it like Seattle got 2 draft picks, the 12th and the 13th. Somebody gonna try to finagle one of those guys out of there. Miami got 1 deep down to like the 20th. The Browns and Rams don't have none at all, and it's starting to show. But I'm just saying though, if you're a quarterback, do you come into the league saying, yo, I can be the one to turn this team around, or you come back and say, man, you know what? It's called the Justin Herbert scenario, because Justin Herbert was supposed to be a Jet. He said, no, not me. I'm staying 1 more year. You're not gonna get me. You're not gonna do the okey doke on me. He's not gonna do it, and he ended up being a Charger. You know what I'm saying? So those scenarios could be possibly happening in the realm of these quarterbacks, because again, do you want to go to a team that's rebuilding? Or do you have the moxie to say, yo, I can take this team to the next level? Carolina, Texas, and Washington. Do you have that moxie? Is the question. You know what I'm saying? If they do draft a quarterback, that says something about the quarterback. He's going to a team that he knows really right now. First two years is going to be a rebuild year for us. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Let me go ahead and take care of the commercial here real quick, guys. So let's do this. What's up, everybody out the sports world?
What's up, everybody out the sports world? This is AJ, and I'm coming to you in the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network.
Remember,
Weekly schedule.
you can call in. The number is
You call in. The number is
5662. I said again,
5662. I said again, 512-543-4662. On Sundays, we have an opening date. So if you'd like to come on and do a show on Sunday, be here ready for you to go. On Mondays, from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, January to August, and from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, from September to January, because we make sure you got it. And watch that Monday Night Football. And that show is just a sports talk radio show with your host, Kate Dix, the host sports, coming to you from Harrisburg, Virginia. Also, my co-host is Dana Clark from St. Pete, Florida. On Tuesdays, we got Devin Arizona, 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Pitch Sports Talk Show. Wednesdays, we have from 8:39 out of the block with host Robert Bush from Richmond, Virginia. Co-host is Donna Hayes out of Roanoke, Virginia. Also co-host Brett Shields from Orlando, Florida. Next up, on Thursday, we got Game Winning Sports Show. From 6 to 8, we got Game Winning Sports Show. Host Drew from Wisconsin, from Austin, Texas. Co-host is Richard Tunney from Miami, Florida.
Also on Thursday, we got the Walker
Report. Host is Bradley Walker from Tampa, Florida. Co-host is Adam Mango from Nashville, Tennessee. Saturdays we have from 5 to 7 p.m. Enhanced Sports Show. Host Louis Tenero. Roseland, New Jersey. Co-host he has Steve Davidson from Washington, D.C. Last but not least, on Sundays from 6 to 7, from 6 to 8, we got the DMV Sports Show.
Host is Razoo McGee
from Springfield, Virginia. He talks everything sports in the DMV. So check us out
Make sure you
every day of the week that you can. Make sure you call us. Number is 512-543-4662. You guys have one great day. See you one day this week on the shows. Peace.
All right, guys. So let's go ahead and just get started real quick. Hey, so I want you guys to think about this. So Carolina fired their coach. They're probably going to start rebuilding over. They have two quarterbacks that that's hurt now. Baker's hurt, so they're going to be playing another quarterback. If you're McCaffrey and you're Robbie Anderson, are you asking to be traded? Do you think they would ask to be traded? I think I'm gonna say this. Buffalo was sniffing. They sniffing for that running back, McCaffrey. They get shit. Excuse my French. They get him. It's over. It's over. You hear what I'm saying? They get him. It's over. They got enough firepower right now. They lighten everybody up. They put a shellacking on Pittsburgh this weekend. Man, it was so bad. Pittsburgh Steelers fans they didn't even get on Facebook and say nothing. They ain't say nothing. But McCaffrey and Robbie Anderson is two players I definitely would be asking about. Robbie didn't want to play with Baker in the first place, right? Baker's out. Season's pretty much done. So I'm asking. I think Robbie, to be honest with you, I think he would be a good fit for Baltimore, for the Ravens. I think he would be good for them. And McCaffrey definitely would be a good fit for Buffalo, because now you have 1-2 punch, 1-2-3 punch in the backfield. Can you imagine McCaffrey don't have to do everything? He don't have to do as much as he's been doing there. He's Mr. Carolina. He's the Mr. Panther. He's the running back. He's the wide receiver. He's the fullback. He's the H-back. He's the tight end. He's the guy they throw the screen passes to. He even throws screen passes to himself so that he can run the ball himself, because he ain't got no quarterback to throw it to him. You know what I'm saying? So just think, guys, how that would make him feel leaving Carolina, going to a team that's a contender, and helping a team possibly win the Super Bowl. I would like. I don't want him on Buffalo. You know what I'm saying, per se. But somebody need to be kicking the tires, and Buffalo is definitely sniffing around with him. Robbie Anderson, if I'm him, I'm asking to be released too. Let me trade me to somebody that's have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. I think Baltimore would be a perfect place for him because they don't really have any wide receivers there that is Robbie Anderson like you know, and even sending McCaffrey to Buffalo, that's just like man, it, that's unlawful because they already got enough there. But they got picks, they got draft picks, they got money. You know, anybody think that McCaffrey or Robbie Anderson could go anywhere else other than the two teams I talked about? Anybody?
Nah, they're not going nowhere.
Why do you think they're not?
They're gonna save them. They're gonna save them for the new coach.
For the new coach. Dana, I get that. I get what you're saying, but that team needs more than what they have right now. They need. And Dana, think about this: you get the new coach, and within 2 years, everybody that was there is probably gone. Okay, so now you're gonna keep Robbie Anderson around, you're gonna keep McCaffrey around, and you're still not gonna be a contender. So I'm not saying they have to leave. I'm just saying there's gonna be somebody that's gonna ask about them because it could be a fire sale in Carolina. Dana, who somebody had their hand up. Who was it? Oh, okay. Nobody did. Jiro did. All right, go ahead, Jiro. Jiro, go ahead.
Got a question for y'all on it for Dana, Kevin, and James. Do y'all think that Sean Payton will take this coaching job with the Panthers?
No.
No.
Sean Payton's going to go.
Getting the Cowboys job.
No, he's not. He's not going to Cowboys either. Dana, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you why he's not going to go to Cowboys because he's already said that he wants part ownership. Who owns the Dallas Cowboys?
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
I'll plead the fifth on that.
Okay.
Jerry Jones owns the Cowboys.
Okay. Does anybody else? Is there any minority owners for the Cowboys? Jiro? Any minorities? Any minority owners with the Cowboys?
Not that I can think of.
Exactly. So Dana, that's why he's not. Dana, so that's why he's not going there.
He's going to take over.
I'm gonna tell you who probably is who's about to walk himself out of a job is my man Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland. That mess he's doing in Cleveland is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And he gonna say they lost the game because they couldn't stop the run. You go for fourth down and you go for a 4th and 1 at your 30, and you do a pitch out instead of giving the ball to Hunt to go straight up the middle or doing a quarterback sneak like you've been doing, and they don't get it, Dana. San Diego comes down, kicks a field goal, puts them ahead, right? They go down there, and the play calling that the Browns had with less than 2 minutes left in the game were terrible. It was atrocious. Field goal kicker kicks it to far right. He missed 2 field goals. That's 6 points. He makes the field goals. We win by 4, right? But his play calling to me sometimes it doesn't make sense. I guarantee you he probably goes for more 4th downs than any other coach in the NFL. And he's about to coach himself out of the NFL because when Deshaun Watson comes back, if this thing don't go right, he's going to be wrong. And I'm gonna say this: if Cleveland has a chance to get Sean Payton, and he gets a minority ownership of the team, it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. Carolina's probably going to look to let me see here. They're going to look at teams like let me look here real quick at the NFL.
Long as they stay away from Dan Quinn, I'll be happy.
That might be one. That Dan Quinn could be one. Dan Quinn could be. He could be right now. Buffalo's coaching staff could be in trouble. Eagles coaching staff, Cowboys coaching staff, the 49ers or the Rams coaching staff. Because if you look at, there's a lot of coaches that came from the Rams right now that are head coaches in the NFL. So they might go that way. But I'm just saying that he said, I want part ownership of a team. And if there's an owner out there that's willing to give a part ownership of the team, minority ownership team, then that's where he's probably going to go and coach. If they're competitive, if they're going to be a competitive team, they're going to be a team that's looking to, that's going to be in a playoff run for the next 2 to 3, 4 years. He that's where he can go, and he can add on to whatever he needs to add on. So that's why I'm saying I don't think he's going to Dallas. All right, guys, real quick, your teams, just your teams, and I'm gonna give Lou. If you're still on the line, I want to give you the Jets.
Yes.
I'm gonna give. Wait a minute, James, you like the Cowboys too, right? Oh, see, I can't vote Cowboy fans. Oh shit.
Yeah, I got the Cowboys.
Yeah, I got the Cowboys. Shucky ducky quack quack. Okay. So give me the most pleasant surprise player on your team, Lou, from the Jets.
Well, I don't think any real surprises there. I mean, we're just starting to play better with player offense. We're really getting better. We've beaten Miami, we've beaten Pittsburgh. So I think, our offense has really stepped up. I don't think there's any one real individual player.
Did you say that y'all beat Pittsburgh and y'all beat Pittsburgh and Miami?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
Yep.
Oh my.
I beat Miami yesterday, but I really think Tua's absence had a lot to do with that.
Okay. Dana, what is your most pleasant surprise of your team, the Miami Dolphins?
Besides that, I'm gonna go with the surprise team that I picked to win the Super Bowl, the Cowboys. The defense wins championships.
Dana,
they made Detroit Matthew Stafford look like he's playing with the Lions again.
Dana, I was asking you about the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, you asked me about the Dolphins. Too many injuries, man.
Dana, I said, what is the most pleasant surprise on your team, the Dolphins?
The most pleasant surprise.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna say it's no surprises. The surprise I'll probably have to say is the coach.
Okay. I can agree with that. So for me, with the Rams, I gotta say Cooper Kupp, but he has nothing else here. He's there by himself. Allen Robinson, I did not want him. I did not want Allen Robinson. I want Robert Woods back. I want Robert Woods back. Trade for him. Bring him back to the Rams. I want Robert Woods back. I want him back. Allen Robinson ain't the answer. He can't do no sweeps. He barely can catch the foot. I love him because he's a Penn State guy, but man, he is not Robert Woods. I'm sorry. I'm going on a tangent right now. I'm so sorry. I want Robert Woods back. I want him back. for the Browns is Nick Chubbs. This guy, I would not tackle him for nothing in the world. I'm Dana. I'm making a business decision, and I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna slip. I'm gonna slide out his way because that dude is he's music on the football field. He's Jim Brown 2.0. I'm telling you, I love that dude, man. He's not on social media. He says we gotta say. He's on the football field. You don't see him say nothing at all. He just does his job, man. Oh my God, he just does a job. So G Dub and James, I'm gonna give James. I'm gonna give you defense, James, for the Cowboys, and Drew. I'm gonna give you offense for the Cowboys. What's the most pleasant surprise that you guys have seen so far? So James, you go first.
My pleasant surprise is only giving up a touchdown per game for the first 5 weeks. That's it, and less than 20 points. No other team has done that this year. None. Zero.
I like that. G Dub, what you got?
I would have to say Cooper Rush is surprising me. Came out and beat the Bengals and the Rams, and is five. I mean, he's undefeated as a starter. That's pretty. That's not too shabby for a backup QB. This reminds me, James. You would know what I'm talking about. This reminds me of the Tony Romo and Dak Prescott thing that happened. If you remember, Dak came in and did good, and Romo lost his starting job. I can guarantee you this: the same thing's going to happen to Dak. Because Dak's not starting this weekend, his hand is not healed up. He's still having trouble gripping the ball. But I'm going to tell you this right now: if Rush comes out and beats the Eagles, watch out for quarterback controversy in Dallas.
Dana, what you think about that? Dana, what's your thoughts on that?
Now, see, this is where I get disgusted. This is what I turn to Stephen A. Smith. I'm going to my Stephen A. Smith rant. Cowboy fans, I know I pick you Cowboy fans. I don't want to be a hypocrite, but I'm going to be a hypocrite right now. Stop it. It's pathetic. You didn't beat nobody but the Cincinnati Bengals. You beat the Giants that's coming up. The Daniel Jones. You beat Carson Wentz. You beat Detroit Stafford. Yeah. I mean, slow down. Now Sunday will be, if you win, that'll be your first real win. I'm just tired of all the bragging.
All right, wait a minute, Dana. So James got something to say. Go ahead, James.
We don't make the schedules. We play who is on our schedule. This isn't college football. We don't schedule cupcakes. This is the professional football league. People need to stop this notion like, hey, you didn't beat anybody. Well, guess what? You beat a pro team. It doesn't matter. You step up. If one player goes down, next man up. Let's go. If you can't. If you lose, you lose. You win, you win. At the end of the day, you hold your head up high.
It could be the Commander.
Go ahead, G-Dub.
We beat the defending AFC champions, the Bengals. That has to say something for it. I'm going to take the Cowboys. What happened? Huh? What happened? Huh? Come on, Dana. Tell me what happened.
So
They don't
okay.
even look like they should have been in the playoffs the way they playing.
All right. So now I'm gonna say this to you guys. Strength of schedule matters. Okay. Cincinnati and the Rams and Kansas City have the toughest schedule this year. Now I'm gonna say this to you guys, and I did my homework because I knew this was gonna come up. Since 2015, no team that won Super Bowl had came back with the toughest schedule other than the Patriots and the Rams this year. It's never happened. They're the only two teams that had the toughest schedule coming into the year after they won Super Bowl. So, and the thing about it is, if you look at the toughest schedule, you got to look at the teams within your division. Okay, Arizona's not really that good. San Francisco is really good. Seattle's not that good, and I'm surprised that they have them ranked so high. Kansas City is 30. Kansas City had the toughest. Then you have the Rams, and then you have Cincinnati. So those three teams right there, who were playoff teams, have the toughest schedule. You look at Kansas City's schedule. You look at Kansas City's division. Nobody thought the Raiders were going to be 1-3. We thought they would be better. Chargers, we thought the Chargers would be better. Okay, and who else they got? And we thought Denver would be better with Russell Wilson coming there. But as we can see, that's not the case. But again, I think the schedule, and I'm gonna say this: Cincinnati got rewarded last year because they were in last place, and that's how they end up with the schedule they had. They took advantage of the schedule, and they got them to the Super Bowl. Okay, the whole NFC East division has the easiest schedule. Dallas is right there. It's like Dallas and Washington and Eagles and the Giants. All four teams they have the easiest schedule. But what I'm impressed about is they're taking advantage of the easy schedule. So what we thought might have been a 9-8 season with these teams, we're looking at maybe somebody going 11, 12, 13, maybe 13-3, whatever the case may be. That's what I'm seeing. That's what there's possibility is going to happen out of that division because of the schedule they have.
Yeah.
Now, you look at the Giants were in last place last year. So they had the easiest schedule out of that division. Were they a last place team last year? They didn't have Barkley. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't there. You know, there was always some question marks about the team.
Right.
They fired their coach. And for them to fire their coach and keep the same personnel they have right now, and none of us here are big on the quarterback. We don't know if he's going to be there next year or not. It depends on how well the Giants end up going. Giants beating the Packers the way they did, come back. They were down with 20. Was it 22-0 or 21? I don't know. They were down by double digits, whatever. They came back and won the game 27-22 against Green Bay, who has a pretty good defense, whose offense is struggling right now because he can't get along. He don't know who to throw the ball to. But I'm not making no excuse because when you up by 3 touchdowns and you lose and don't score another point this whole second half, there's an issue there. There's definitely an issue there. So my thing with that whole division is they're taking advantage of the scheduling they have, and that's what they're supposed to do. Now, if we look at it for real, if we look at the standings right now, and I'm just going to do the National League. You're looking at the Eagles, Dallas, and Giants making the playoffs. Minnesota making the playoffs. Tampa Bay, the Saints maybe. Let me see. Tampa Bay and the 49ers making the playoffs. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're missing a team. So right now, let's say the Eagles win the division. Cowboys get a wild card. Giants get a wild card. Okay. Minnesota wins the division. The way Green Bay going, I don't know what they're going to do. Tampa is playing good football. They win the division. The Saints got issues. The Rams offensive line got issues. You know what I'm saying? So that other wild card is up in the air. So now you're gonna have where last year you had 49ers, the Rams, and the Cardinals in the playoffs. It's gonna switch now to the NFC East. Philadelphia, Cowboys, and Giants could be in the playoffs. Okay? Between those three teams, there's only 2 losses. You know what I'm saying? So again, you take advantage of your scheduling. Is where the Eagles made the playoffs last year, so we knew the Eagles was coming on. We really didn't know about the Cowboys because Cowboys didn't spend any money to bring in any top free agents. Everybody kept saying the Cowboys need wide receivers. They go get Odell Beckham, go get this guy, go get that guy, go get this guy. They're 4-1 right now. Is the defense carrying them? Absolutely. Absolutely, defense is carrying them. You know what I'm saying? Cooper Rush is playing. He's playing good football. That game against the Rams couldn't start off no better scenario for them than how it did. A fumble recovery, score a touchdown. Cooper gets the ball, and I think they end up kicking a field goal or something like that. I can't remember. So the defense comes back, gets a block punt. They go down and kick another field goal, whatever. So they're up by 2 scores already. So now the defense can go lights out on the Rams quarterback because their offensive line is not that good. The Rams has changed their offensive line more than anybody has in the last 5 games. I think 11 to 12 times that offensive line has been switched around because of injuries. They lost the center at the beginning of the season. Now they just lost the other center again. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks for a high ankle sprain. So the Rams offensive line, you got to be fixed some kind of way, or Stafford is going to be in trouble. He's going to be on his back a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? So that game turned out perfectly for the Cowboys to release that defense. With you're up 13 points. You in SoFi, but it's a home game for you because Dallas Cowboy fans they follow well. Dallas Cowboy, I gotta say, I think Pittsburgh follows better than I think Pittsburgh's number 1. Only because Pittsburgh is from the East Coast and you have a lot of people that moved out west. That's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I gotta say Dallas would probably be 3rd. I would probably say Chicago Bears maybe be 4th, and then I gotta say the Raiders. Their fans travel well, so when those teams come to your city and play, don't be surprised if you got more fans for that team than you do for your own team at home. And so
I wasn't surprised.
far was the only thing seen was silver and blue. You know what I'm saying? And so far, because we have a lot of people that move out to LA and still are Dallas Cowboy fans. But again, Dana, I get what you're saying, but you gotta give that division some credit because they're playing good football. The schedule is a schedule, right? And so they gotta take advantage of the schedule. And again, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to talk about. Remember we did the list. I can't find you guys' list where I said the top 10 records that could be broke this year. I don't know if you guys remember that or not. And I was looking for you guys' list. I couldn't find it. But I'm just gonna go over my list. And what I have on my list here, I have NFL receiving. The NFL receiver. We got somebody to call in. Who we got? Glenn Burney, Maryland. We got somebody from Maryland. Last 4 is 1273. Who? Okay. Tell us who you are. Say it again.
Hey, Kev.
Yes.
I'm trying to get this thing off of mute, man.
You're not on mute.
How you doing?
Oh, is this Coach? Is this Coach? Coach Gray?
Coach Gray.
Coach Gray, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm well. I'm doing very well. How you guys?
We doing good. We talking a little
I'm
football.
doing great.
We talking a little football right now. Talking a little football. So what's going on in your neighborhood, brother?
I know you were talking about my Cowboys, man, so I had to chime in. You know? Oh gosh. Oh man, so much going on in my corner. But you know, when you're talking about strength of schedule and traveling well, yeah, you know, the Cowboys have a facility out of Oxnard, California. So
that second home to them in the LA area.
If
So
I
yeah,
ain't
they
know no
do
better,
travel well.
I thought it was the first home.
Yeah, you thought so. That all depends. It all depends on the rhythm that you know. Every team has a rhythm that they have, and I think Dak is the true leader. But what Cooper's doing, I wouldn't change a thing for one reason only. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
So
And
let me ask you a
the only thing
question.
that's going to get in the way of that will be politics and agents, and that's where the business comes in.
So let me ask you a question. So if Cooper Rush beats the Eagles, is that game in Dallas or in
Yep.
Philadelphia?
No, it's in Philly.
Okay. So if he beats him in Philly, I'm gonna ride with him. If
Yeah.
that game was in if he won in Dallas, then I don't know because you at home.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wins that game in Philly, which we know, and right now the weather in Pennsylvania ain't being nice. It ain't being kind to nobody. Coach Gray, when the first day of fall came in, it was winter. Fall said the summer, yo, get on out of here. Man, we ain't seen a day over 70 since then. You know what I'm saying? So that probably gonna be a prime time game, and that's gonna be late at night. So that weather gonna factor.
It's Sunday night.
So that weather
I'm not that far. I'm right in Maryland, so what you said about the weather, you're absolutely right. You feel it here too.
So so you saying that if he beats if Cooper Rush beats the Eagles, you leave him in there. When
you're 5-1.
So let me ask you a question.
And these go ahead.
When do you bring Dak back at all?
When Dak is 100%, and then the players who are winning right now, who has a taste of winning, is confident that Dak will come in and continue what's going on. That has a lot to do with those players, believe me or not. Believe me what I tell you.
Okay.
These players didn't think that the season would be in this position right now without that. Well, that goes to tell you a well-coached team don't need just one person. You need them all.
So you said well-coached team.
Well-coached team. Now, that may not be the head coach. I'm not talking about the head coach. I'm talking about the position coaches. If you look at their position coaches, the position coaches are a better position of their personnel than a figurehead as the head coach.
I agree with that.
And Dallas right now is Jerry Jones owns that head coach, but he doesn't own those position coaches.
I got you. So I'm looking at the schedule right now. So they go to Philadelphia. That's a late game. Then they got the Lions, who, man, I just don't know about the Lions. 1 minute they're up, next minute they're down. That's a home
when
game.
When they beat the Cowboys, they play the Cowboys well.
And it's
always played them.
And you got Chicago Bears next, and then you go at Green Bay. Then you add the Vikings, the Giants, the Colts, the Texans. Oh,
man. Right.
Yo.
Well, the thing is, you want to stack wins. In the playoffs, any team that goes well in the pros, you want to stack wins by 4. Okay, you win 4, win 5, may lose 1, but then you have to stack them back up. Okay, right now the Cowboys have helped their cause. Okay, because they have 4 wins stacked. To take one off, that's okay, but you shouldn't take one off. What you want to do is you want to go in and send a message to your conference and beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Period. In the story.
Yo, this schedule is not. Yo, this is scary. I'm looking at the schedule. Dana, I'm looking at the schedule.
You hear me?
What'd you say, Coach?
Yeah, but you remember now. Look at the Super Bowl champions from last year. Yeah. Now they weren't the best team in the league. They needed people to beat up on each other to get in that position that they got into to get into the Super Bowl, even in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they weren't that good.
Well,
and the quarterback was not that good.
Well, I'm gonna
I
say
called them Baker Mayfield light.
I'm gonna say this.
That's who Stafford is.
I'm gonna say this. I think that Stafford's better. I think he's way better than Baker Mayfield. And I think the only thing the Rams actually were missing was a quarterback. And when they got Matthew Stafford there, I think that was icing on the cake. Now I'm gonna say this: I think there's something wrong with his elbow. I think they're not gonna talk about it.
His numbers were not that much, but his numbers weren't that much different from Baker Mayfield when it comes to interception. You go back.
No. I agree with you. He gave the ball up a lot last year. He did. He did that. He did that at the end of the season. A lot of turnovers. He did give up that, and I think there's an issue with his elbow, and they're not really talking about it. They did talk about it at the beginning of the year, and they left it alone. But I still think there's an issue with the elbow. The big issue with the Rams is the offensive line has been changed around for the last. We in week 5. Let me see. Yeah, week 5, week 6, whatever. That offensive line has changed 11 times in these weeks. So there's no continuity there for them either. But again, I'm looking at.
Remember this. Yeah.
Yes.
When you look at the Bills, the Buffalo Bills. Okay, the defensive coordinator said this last week. All his practice players better be ready based off of the new NFL. Okay?
Yep.
There's no excuses anymore that we can use with the best football, the best players on earth, elbow or not.
There's no excuses on that level. Let me ask you a question, because this was asked to Tom Brady the other day. Do you think the NFL is watered down?
It's been watered down for years. It's not that. Okay, we're going to flag football this year in what is it? The Pro Bowl.
Yes.
If you don't think that's watered down, then what is it? In the next 5 years, the quarterbacks may have flags on their hips. Come on, man.
And the thing about it is, though, I think me and Dana had talked about this a couple of years ago about the issue with the NFL is that you don't have enough quality players to replace the players that you need to replace when they get hurt.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest issue to me is your offensive line. If you cannot replace your offensive line and still stay intact, that's the worst feeling in the world as a quarterback. Knowing that you just can't. You can put a tight end on one end, or you can go tight end on both ends, and it's still not going to matter. And so when the question came up about it, I was like, it is, but it's not, because you can't have the best. You got to have the best 53-man in roster that you can get. And so far, the Patriots have been the ideal team to show you that they 53-man roster can work for anybody. It's just that you got to learn your job. Everybody do their own job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
let me make this last point.
Okay.
And I'll say it this way. The offensive line and defensive line is the only area in football that's not watered down. Period. That's where true football is being played.
I would agree with that. I would agree. Because I think, though, when you have your offensive line and your defensive line, everybody should be able to play any other spot on it, other than maybe the center, because the center is the one that calls the plays. Some people don't have the aptitude to be a center. You know what I'm saying? But the left tackle should be able to play the right tackle. Right guard should play the left guard. They should be interchangeable. And when you're used to not being there, and then you got to get changed, it causes inconsistency. And I think that, to me, with the Rams, that's the biggest thing I see with them is that right there. Plus, Allen Robinson is not stepping up to be the wide receiver that they want him to be. I don't know if you heard me earlier. I was begging for Robert Woods for them trade back to get Robert Woods back. I want Robert Woods back so bad.
Yes.
But
Kev, that defense that Dallas have with that scheme, the young man has come out of your area from Harrisburg. Look, he's not the biggest. He's sure enough the most athletic on that field. If you take a look at the defensive core of the Dallas Cowboys, it's all athletes on that field.
Exactly. And
that's what they've gone to. Athletes.
And we were talking about that, like we were talking about Tennessee playing against Alabama, and I told Dana, we all three of us on the air right now went going for Tennessee, and Dana went for Alabama, and I said to Dana, I said the difference with Tennessee now than then is Tennessee has athletes on their team, and that's the difference. When it's athlete against athlete, it's then the big players, big time players, got to make big time plays in big time games. You know, and that's the thing that, and even like even with Micah yesterday. Now he pulled a groan, he pulled his groan or whatever in the first quarter, and I remember the play that he pulled it because Cooper Kupp kind of shaked him and he went out of bounds, and you could see him come up. And he said, "Yo, if I ain't dying, I'm still playing." You know, and even at the end of the game,
that's LT, but that's LT.
Yes, it is.
That's LT, sir.
And at the end of the game, he makes the play.
Mindset.
He makes the play, and they fumble the ball again, and he's on one leg. That's LT days.
Right. That's the difference between the watered down, and that's between the difference of a business. You have a combination in there. Some people are blue collar, and some people are just flat out get at it.
Exactly.
Iron, steel, mother, you know what?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
So,
I agree,
man.
I remember Micah. We were playing Carlisle, and Patrick called me. He said, "Man, my mom went to the game. She said, who's that 23 kid? He looked like he belonged in the pros." And so Patrick said, "Mom, that's Micah Parsons. He's going to Penn State."
He's different, man.
And she says,
different.
"Yo," she said, "he's going to be special." She said, just like you said, he's going to be special. You know, and the thing about it is, if any kids listen to the show, I want you to understand something. Micah ran track. He qualified for districts in the 100. Michael wrestled, qualified for districts in wrestling. Micah played basketball. They qualified for the playoffs in basketball. The only thing he didn't do was play tennis. The only thing he didn't do was play baseball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now, what I'm saying to you is this is the truth. He played football. If I'm not, if I swear, I believe he played football. He played basketball, wrestled, indoor track, ran track. Whenever he could play, And then finally he stopped playing basketball because he had signed a letter of intent to go to Penn State. You know what I'm saying? But
sounded like the kid was having fun.
Yeah, he was. But you know what though? A lot of these kids today don't understand that you can play other sports that just concentrating on one sport. Our body's not built like that. You know, our body's not built.
Coaches, there's a lot of coaches who do not, and you can have a show about this year and whenever. There are coaches in high school who tell these kids to play one sport.
I hate that.
One sport only.
I dislike that.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
I dislike that so much.
But that's because they're protecting their own interests.
Exactly.
And you're hurting these kids from showing other parts of their ability. Right?
Exactly.
And like I told my daughter, you're a great basketball player, but you can also run track. So do what you want to do. I'll support that because in 4 years it's over. And when you go to college, you can only pick one sport.
And thing about track and swimming, if you don't know, works every muscle in your body, and it makes you faster, quicker, better than if you play. If your sport was football and you was a swimmer, helps you. If you ran track in your football, it helps you. All those two sports help you be a better athlete in the sport that you really want focus on.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach Graves, good talking to you, man.
Let you guys go. Yes, sir.
Always a pleasure.
Great talking to you guys. And just give you a little bit of news with me, Kev. I am going to probably be in your area here in Maryland as well with ESPN now and SLPA. I mentioned this to you.
Right.
We're going to be bringing combines or recruiting 11th and 12th graders to the area of Maryland, Pennsylvania. We just did our launch in June. So I'll be reaching back out to you, let you know what we're doing.
Definitely. I appreciate that, man, and
Absolutely.
we'll talk.
All right.
All right, Coach Gray, take care.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
If you guys don't know who Coach Gray was, he was one of the he was a host on one of my shows, and he has his own network now. And basically he's out promoting football for the next level at a higher level. Real quick, we got about 6 minutes left. Dana,
Yes, sir.
Dana, I can't leave without being remiss to talk about your Lakers. So
Love the Lakers.
the Los Angeles Lakers give Rob Pelinka a contract extension. Dana, why they do that?
I was getting ready to say why too.
Because
I know why.
Why? Tell us why. We all want to know.
That was the great Kobe. That was the great Kobe Bryant's agent. So she wanted to keep all the pieces of Kobe around her. Nostalgia.
Dana, if you want us to believe that, go ahead, but we don't. He brings in Westbrook, it doesn't work. Brings in Frank Vogel, and he wins in the bubble, which everybody thinks that's not a real championship, and I'll be the first to say it. And if the Celtics had won, I would say that too. And he has not surrounded LeBron James with players that help him win another title. And you give him a contract extension. I don't get that. I don't understand it. But it ain't meant for me to understand that, I guess, because I ain't a Laker fan. It just don't make sense to me. I don't know what they're doing out in LA. You know what I'm saying? I know that they just
Because they gave too much to dress shirt Davis.
oh, and his back is tight again. His back's tight again. So we're gonna leave that there. We'll talk about that later on because I want to get into some more Laker news. As you guys know, NBA is right around the corner. Next week I think it is.
Next Tuesday, yes.
Next Tuesday I'll be at my part-time job. I'm gonna miss my Celtics play the Sixers. Celtics look really good. I don't know about anybody else's team out here. I haven't really watched anybody else but my team, but they look really, really good. And would you say, James? Go ahead.
I'm a Mavs fan, so I'm really hoping we kind of turned it around from last season's collapse against the Warriors.
And you know what, James? We're going to talk about that Brunson situation, leaving, going to New York. I didn't like that move. I thought that was. I think there was some shystiness going on with that. And hopefully they can get down to the bottom of it because they haven't said anything about that at all yet. And they talked about that while they were still in the playoffs, which they know they ain't supposed to talk about. But it is what it is. Anybody got anything else good? We got about we're looking at what 7. We got like we got time. It's 1:48. We got 12. Yeah, is that 12 minutes? Yeah. 1:48, 1:50. Yeah, 12. We got 12 minutes. Okay, so we got 12 minutes. I thought we had less time. I'm looking at my clock and I keep forgetting I start sooner. So James, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks. Now, the Dallas Mavericks talking about trading for a gentleman. I saw it briefly, but I didn't really pay attention to it. But explain to me how do you think the Dallas Mavericks are gonna make up for Jalen Brunson, correct? Leaving, is it Jalen Brunson? Yeah, Jalen Brunson from Villanova. Leaving, going to New York. I think that him going to New York is okay, but they're not that good. And they probably gonna have one of the smallest backcourts out there. But being a Dallas Maverick fan, how do you feel about? Do you think they found somebody to replace him? Because you guys got the kid from Golden State, right? Okay. So just tell me what your thoughts with the Dallas Mavericks and where you think they're going to end up going.
I still think they're going to be like a top 3, maybe 4 team in the West. And I feel like they could possibly make some noise in the playoffs too. It all depends on, because we needed a big man, and we got a big man. We got Christian Wood. A whole lot better than what we. I mean, I love Dwight Powell, but he's not a big man that will
Powell's too soft.
So and Doncic is the man. He's probably gonna win an MVP or close to it.
I got the MVP stuff here as well. We're gonna talk about that next week as well. Dana, Laker fan, tell me what are you expecting from the Lakers this year, man?
Can I really say how I feel?
He ain't stopped you so far.
In the words of my favorite movie, not a dang thing. I knew it was so.
Hey Lou, you
didn't do nothing.
Lou is a Knick. You're a Knick fan, right, Lou?
That's correct.
Okay, what you think about the Knicks? What you see the Knicks doing?
Well, hopefully be better improvement than last year. Yeah, last year was was like right from the get go a disaster. So hopefully with the draft picks they made this year, that it'll be an improvement, and hopefully the Nets will do better as well. I mean, they were fine until Christmas when they came down with that thing we call COVID. So hopefully, and with all what's going on with trying to get the trade, I hope that this year that they'll be able to make all the right moves and maybe contend for the playoffs this year.
Okay. You guys
you're not sure the general manager's picks.
You guys know I'm a Celtic guy. Like I told you at the beginning of the show, I like football. I love me some basketball, baby. And I'm gonna say this: even though the situation happened with the coach, this team is still gonna prevail. I think that what they have now is gonna be a good team. I watch them play, and it's like their season did never end. They shooting better. Jaylen Brown, I don't know if you saw the workout he did in the pool with the weights. That was so impressive. Even in my younger days, I would have never did that. Swimming in the pool, jumping from the bottom of the pool, swimming up with weights in your hand to the top of the pool. That's impressive. I love me some Jaylen Brown because I think he's a dog with that team. I think that they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. The problem I think they might have might be Al Horford is a little old in the tooth, and there might be games where he may have to sit out. Robert Williams is not back. They got Blake Griffin. I'm okay with that. Me personally, I want Melo to play, but I think the bench is going to play really good basketball this year, and I think they're going to be motivated because of the situation that happened with Udoka. I am Udoka. I think they're going to be motivated. They're going to prove to them, if they win a title, he's getting the ring no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Because he's part of the team. He made a mistake. He apologized for it. Me personally speaking, when it comes to stuff like that, that's your personal business, man. We don't need to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? We don't really talk about it. We live in glass. How can we live? We all live in glass houses, and we're gonna throw stones at somebody else's house? Come on, stop. Just leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Just let that go by the wayside. And let him deal with that situation the way he needs to deal with it. But I think they got a young coach. But I think they're going to keep him out of the fire until the playoffs comes around. I think if I'm boss and I'm going out to try to give me a veteran coach, just to be on the sideline with him to talk to him, to get him through some issues that he needs to go through, and so hopefully he can do that, and they bring in somebody that's good that can help him. He seems confident in coaching. I seen him. I've seen him get on them guys a little bit when they did some wrong things, and I'm glad that he is that way. But I guess they have the respect. They have his respect, and which is good. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we're gonna see the Celtics be a good team. I'm afraid of Milwaukee though. I really am. They have a grudge. Without Middleton, we took them to 7 games and we won. But when you put Middleton on that team, it's a different team. That kid's special, man. That kid's really special. So we'll see how this NBA season turn out. And again, we got baseball, we got football, we got basketball, we even got NASCAR, if I'm not mistaken. That's on TV, during the weeks. Man, if you're a sports fan, you gotta love this stuff, man. I'm telling you, man. These last 2 hours have been so much fun, guys. I wish I could do this every day. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I wish I could do this every day because I had so much fun with you guys talking. Everybody brings their own thing to the show. Then it comes in talking about Pujols and Aaron Judge is juicing. The only thing they drinking was orange juice. That's it. They wasn't juicing. I'm saying, right. But Dana, if they come out and say it's so, I'll be the first one to say, man, Dana told me that's what they were doing. And I apologize, Dana, because that's what they got caught doing. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see. Other than that, guys, anybody got anything else they want to say? Well, before that, you guys know Sherry that comes sometimes. She's on the page. She lost her brother a couple of days ago. So please keep her family in prayer. I haven't talked to her lately because she's going through some personal things. She is my friend. And Luke, I know he was her nephew was getting a new heart, which is good. You know what I'm saying? And so she's going through all this kind of stuff, man. So just keep her family in prayer because this thing called life is rough, man. It really is, And every morning that you wake up and put your shoes on, just say thank you to whoever you believe in, whoever your higher being is. Just say thank you because you're here for another day, And if you're gonna be here for another day, make a change, change something. Just make a change for the better for this world because there's a lot of stuff going on in this world right now that we can't control. We got wars going on. We got people shooting missiles over other countries. This is heading nowhere good, ladies and gentlemen. United States is trying to stay out of it, but eventually we're gonna get involved in something going on over there, and hopefully it's not nothing big, and hopefully it can get solved before it gets to the point where we have to be involved. Because we don't pick the fights, but they want to make us fight. We want to stay away from this. So everything that's going on in this world, even Nicaragua, pray for them, the hurricane and everything down there. Just pray, man. Just pray that our world is a better world when we wake up tomorrow. Dana, anything, brother? Dana?
I'm here, Cal. I had it on mute. I was making noise.
Okay. Anything else, Dana?
Cowboy fans, in the words of the great Stephen A. Smith, I'm gonna be here waiting with the tissue. But I'm a hypocrite. I picked you to go to the Super Bowl, so I'm torn. If you fans calm down, we'll appreciate you more.
I have to agree with that. I don't hate the Cowboys. I just hate some of their fans. Some of their fans are just so arrogant, right. Like the Steeler fans. They're so arrogant, and I'm loving that. I'm loving that grubbing that Buffalo put on Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, it was lovely. Both my teams lost yesterday, but I don't care because Pittsburgh lost. They lost. And yes, I am a hater. a straight hater of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm a Cleveland Brown fan. I do not like nothing about the Pittsburgh Steelers at all. Nothing. Only player on the Pittsburgh Steelers that I really like is Franco Harris because he went to college with my uncle. Everybody else don't care about them at all. No, nobody. I'm a Browns fan. Yeah, baby. All right, guys, let's get on out of here, man. We had a good night, had some fun. Just enjoy yourself, man, and listen to other shows that's gonna be on in the near future, and we're just gonna have some fun. Have some news coming up real soon. We're just trying to hold off on a little bit, I guess. I'll let you guys know when I know more. So I'm out of here, guys. Let's go ahead and do where's the outro? Here's the outro.
Hey, this is K Dix.
That's not the outro. Here's the outro.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by K Dix from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart. Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. G-Dub from Austin, Texas. Murray E. Baskerville from Greenwood, and Coach Maryland from Charleston, South Carolina. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Make big time players, make big time plays, and big time games. Stay ready to be ready. Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world.
So nice. I had to play it twice, guys. Y'all have a good night.